Today, we're diving into one of the toughest battles any investor faces. And here's a hint, it's not against the market. Nope, the real fight is happening right between your ears. It's your ancient survival instinct going head-to-head with your modern portfolio, especially when things get, well, crazy.
Oh, you know that feeling, right? That gut-wrenching, heart-pounding urge when the market is just a sea of red. The headlines are screaming crash, and every fiber of your being is just yelling, sell, sell everything before it all goes to zero. It's this primal, physical reaction. And trust me, you are not alone in feeling it. Well, here's the thing. That incredibly powerful feeling, it's not some sophisticated financial signal. It's your ancient survival instinct kicking and screaming. And look, it's fantastic at, keeping you from being eaten by a tiger, but when it comes to investing, it is absolutely, positively terrible. So to really get why this happens, we need to peek inside your brain during a market crash. Think of it like a championship fight with two very, very different competitors. So this whole conflict, it really boils down to two key parts of your brain. In this corner, you've got the rational brain, the prefrontal cortex. This is your inner CEO. It's calm, it's cool, it's looking at long-term goals and historical data. Its strategy? Just stay the course. But in the other corner, you have the survival brain, the amygdala. Its only goal is to avoid pain right now, and its only strategy is to smash that big red sell button immediately. Okay, so let's zoom in on that survival brain, because that's where all the trouble starts. Why do we panic like this in the first place? Well, the answer is buried deep in our evolutionary past. So let me introduce you to the main character of our story, the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's ancient, super sensitive threat detector. For thousands and thousands of years, its job was to spot physical dangers, a predator hiding in the grass, the sound of an avalanche, and just instantly trigger that life-saving fight-or-flight response. It acts way before your conscious brain even has time to ask, hey, what was that? And this is exactly how it hijacks your financial decisions. It's a 3-step process, and it happens in a flash. Step 1, threat detected. Your amygdala sees a screen full of falling red numbers. To its ancient wiring, that looks like a life or death threat. Step 2, it activates. Instantly, it completely bypasses your rational brain and just screams, danger. And then step 3, fight or flight. Your body gets flooded with stress hormones, like cortisol, basically demanding that you flee the market by selling. It feels like a biological command you can't ignore. And here's the big, big problem. Your amygdala just can't tell the difference between a 50% portfolio crash and a saber-toothed tiger. The physical, biological reaction is exactly the same. But a financial loss, as scary as it is just an abstract threat. It can't actually hurt you physically. So your brain is basically running this incredibly powerful survival software on an operating system that's completely outdated for the world of modern finance.
Okay, so what's the actual cost of this mismatch? What really happens when we let our caveman brain manage our 401k? Well, as you can probably guess, the financial fallout can be absolutely devastating.
I mean, just look at this. Let's compare two investors over a 15-year period. The investor on the left, they stayed the course. They gritted their teeth and rode out the storm. And their portfolio, it ends up being dramatically larger. Now, the investor on the right, they listened to that panic button. They sold. They not only locked in all their losses, but they completely missed the recovery that followed, totally crippling their long-term growth. It's a brutal difference.
And if you need one more piece of proof, check out this staggering statistic. Get this, 77%. 77 of the stock market's best days between 1998 and 2018 happened within just 2 weeks of its worst days. Just let that sink in for a second. When you panic and sell, you're not just locking in a loss. You are almost guaranteed to miss the massive rebound that often comes right on the heels of the crash. That's the real cost. Okay, so the problem is crystal clear, right? Our brains are literally hardwired to make terrible financial decisions when things get scary. But, and this is the good news, you are not powerless here. You can actually build a system to tame that amygdala. So let's talk about your anti-panic playbook. So here's how you build your defense. It's a simple 4-step plan. Step 1, pre-commit to a plan. You've got to create your investment rules when you are calm and rational, not in the heat of a crisis. Step 2, zoom out.
Seriously, the next time you feel that panic, stop looking at the 20-minute chart and pull up a 20-year chart. You'll see that every disaster in the past is just a blip on a long upward journey. Step 3, automate everything. Set up those automatic contributions. This turns scary downturns into opportunities because you're just consistently buying. And finally, number 4, know your history. You have to remind yourself that market crashes are normal. They happen, and every single one in history has been followed by a recovery. Every single one.
You know, this all really comes down to one simple truth about winning the long game in investing. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most disciplined. You don't have to take my word for it. Benjamin Graham, who was Warren Buffett's mentor, basically the father of value investing, he said it best decades ago. The investor's chief problem, and even his worst enemy, is likely to be himself. He knew way back then that the biggest risk isn't the market, it's us. Our own emotions are the single greatest threat to our financial success. So really, the ultimate takeaway here is this. You're never gonna eliminate fear. It's part of being human, right? The goal isn't to become some emotionless investing robot. No way. The goal is to simply have a system in place, a plan that works in spite of that fear. So the next time the market takes a nosedive and you feel that familiar panic rising in your chest, you're gonna face a choice. Who's gonna be managing your portfolio in that moment? Your ancient, outdated survival brain, or you, the person who made a rational plan? The choice, in the end, is always yours.